Hello everybody, this last video of the day is for my dear friend Ray. Thank you for choosing me to answer a question for you, my dear. Ray has been coming to me for readings for a very long time. I think he found me on YouTube. Maybe he found me even in my pre-YouTube days, I'm not sure. So for a while, since the beginning, since the early days, he's been coming to me for readings. And not only does he come to me for readings, he buys readings for his friends that he thinks needs readings. And he just gifts them to them. So he has been a very dear client, very dear person, has an amazing, wonderful heart. We don't agree on everything. Mr. Ray believes in predestination. I believe that only goes so far. And he does not believe in free will. I definitely believe in free will. So we don't agree on everything. But he's still just an amazing, amazing person. Generous. Very, very generous and kind. And so he asked a $6 question today. And I am thrilled to be having the chance to look at that. Let me find this question again, since the cards are now cleared and ready for that. His question is, when will Ray ever find out what's his life purpose? And then he puts, when will, ... Ray has got 1 million questions. So we might be hearing a lot from Ray, I don't know. We'll have to see how that works out. We'll see if he likes the answer to this or not. When will Ray ever find his life purpose? You know, and I was thinking about this question when I first saw it. And what I was thinking at the time is coming back. You know, there's always, you don't always have to have cards to do a reading, especially the longer you've been doing this. And actually, I started out not using cards to do readings at all. But the first impression I got, and we will lay cards too and see what comes up on the cards, but the first impression I got when I looked at your question, Mr. Ray, is that when you stop focusing on the money and start focusing on the things that you love, then you will find your life purpose. But a life purpose, if you are chasing the money all the time, then the money distracts you from what is your life purpose. It distracts you. Now, that's not to say that following your life purpose doesn't bring the money. I happen to believe that it does. I happen to believe that when we have a life purpose, you know, the world needs us to be fulfilling that life purpose, and they are more than willing to pay us to do whatever is our life purpose. So yeah, that was the thing that Spirit was really dropping into my heart, is that, you know, you have to quit chasing the money. You have to start thinking about what is it that you love to do. That's what's going to lead you to your life purpose. The money is not. It's not where you can make the most money. That didn't come out right. You may end up making the most money following your life purpose, but you're not going to find your life purpose following the money, if that makes sense. So let's see what our cards have to say to Mr. Ray today about when he will find his life purpose. When will Mr. Ray... We're going to look at this two ways. Spirit's telling me we need to look at this two ways. When will Mr. Ray find his life purpose if he does not follow the advice that already came through? In other words, if he does not try to follow what he loves or follow his happiness to find his life purpose, when will he find his life purpose? And when will he find it if he does follow that happiness? La da 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 da, la da 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 da. Two very different paths. You know, it can be scary to follow the happiness whenever you have good money coming in. when I started doing this full time, it was pretty scary. The financial side was very scary. Luckily, somebody introduced me to law of attraction, or reintroduced me really to law of attraction at that time, and that changed things for me pretty quickly. But if that would not have happened, whew, would have been ugly. So, following the life purpose, following the happiness to find the life purpose, what happens? When will Ray find his life purpose at that point? Interesting. The very first card that comes out here, Mr. Ray, is the Hermit reversed. And the Hermit reversed talks about spending some time really thinking about what does make you happy. Like, do you even know what makes you happy? Thinking about those things and reflecting on yourself. And then coming out to be around people, coming out with those new ideas of what makes you happy and presenting them to people. So that's the first thing that shows up here. The second thing that shows up is that it's not always fun getting started. It's not always easy getting started when we're bringing our life purpose out, when we're bringing our happiness out. That can be, where we're hoping for things to go well, but we don't quite have all the pieces together yet. And so there's a phase of that, of hoping for things to go well, but not quite having all the pieces together yet, and taking some time. And also I see here too, Mr. Ray, that you have a couple of choices as far as what direction to go in your life purpose. So your life purpose is a little broad, and you can narrow that down. That's what you will be doing. You will be narrowing that down if you were to take my advice in the future. You will have to narrow it down because you like too many things. I think you're going to have a little hard time narrowing that down. And really, you're going to have to, at some point, weed out the other responsibilities that distract you from your life purpose. And I see you doing that. But I see you kind of taking your time on that, doing that slowly. I think you're afraid to let go of those responsibilities because they do bring benefit to your life, namely money, benefits, things like that, pay. So I see you putting down those responsibilities kind of slowly, not just dropping them all of a sudden and going, yay, I found my life purpose, now this is what I'm doing, but setting them aside slowly. And I do find you very happy. 10 of Coins talks about, happy, secure. You've got the money, you've got the happy family life, you've got the happy work life. You've got this is the ideal that we're striving for whenever it comes to work life and life purpose. So that's how I see that coming up. If you were to follow my advice, how long would it take Ray to get to this point? It would take you a couple of years to get to this point, is what I'm hearing, if you were to follow the advice about following your happiness or following what you love. But it does show, first of all, you have to start by looking for what is it you love. What is it you love? All right, then I have to say, have you been chasing the almighty dollar for so long you've forgotten what you love? Or do you know? That's something to think about. That's something they wanted me to ask you to think about. Okay, so that's if you follow your love. And I asked what happens if you don't, like how long will it take if you don't follow your love or follow your happiness? Because, Mr. Ray, I think it'll be hard for you to follow your love or happiness. I think you will be, you will think that that choice is not practical. And maybe it's not. Okay. So, if you don't follow your love, you will find yourself continuing in inner conflict is the first thing that comes up. And you will be facing some big fears. Big fears like, what if I die and I'm still bored to death with my work? What if I spend my whole life doing work that I really don't care about? You'll have to face some fears like that. I think you're already kind of facing those fears anyway. I think that's why you're asking. What do we have here? I think also you'll kind of go into a phase of kidding yourself about your life purpose and your happiness. There will be a phase of that. And I can't remember exactly what your sign is. I think you're an air sign. Anyway, you're showing up here as the King of Swords in reverse, but the King of Swords in reverse is somebody who's kind of moody. They're not happy. And so they're kind of moody. They have mood swings. They're not always pleasant to be around, which is hard for me to imagine because you have always been pleasant for me to communicate with. But moody and sort of unhappy. Things aren't adding up. Things aren't working out the way you want them to, and not so happy about that. And then the final card here really says that if you don't follow the advice of following your happiness or following what you love, you don't really find your life purpose. You don't really. That's kind of sad. So, it's not even a matter of it'll take 20 extra years. It's that you can't find it if you don't follow these. You just go through a cycle of kidding yourself that you're happy and then getting moody because you're not really happy. Kind of a deep reading there. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Ray, for letting me look at this question for you. Probably not exactly the answer that you were looking for. The short version of that answer is in 2 years if you follow your happiness and your love, and never if you don't. So, yeah, like I said, probably not exactly the answer that you were looking for, but I can't wave a magic wand and just drop a life purpose in your lap. So that's what it is. I hope you do find this information helpful, and I hope that you act on it and that you do find your life purpose and start getting out there and doing it soon. There's nothing more empowering and freeing than that. Okay? So, everybody who is watching this reading, if you would like me to answer a question for you for the low, low, low price of $6, all you have to do is check out my website, find the web page that talks about internet readings, maybe even $6 internet readings. I can't remember exactly what I named it. And follow the instructions there, and we'll have you covered pretty shortly. I do also have other services available, long distance and local. I have readings that are private, either 1 question or 2 question readings that are recorded on audio, or live readings. I have 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or 60-minute segments. And also local or long distance, I have Reiki sessions. I do have discounted packages of Reiki if you want more than 1 session. I also do addiction relief services. That is also for local or long distance, for somebody who really wants to let go of an old addiction. And then I do locally only house clearings and psychic parties. So all that information is on my website. If you guys would like to take advantage of any of those services, just check it out and then give me a holler. Everybody have a great day. Peace out.